volleyball than we've seen all season long.
Erin Wyatt, the senior out of Spring, Texas, 6 in black today, back to serve. And the Sunbelt Women's Volleyball Championship underway. A service error to get us started by Erin Wyatt.
You expect that early on, the nerves of going for your serve. Again, tournament time, the record is out the door, so you have to risk everything and go for it. So you expect strong aces and also a lot of missed serves.
This is the freshman Mia Maloney out of Louisville, Kentucky. Palmer called for the double, and the setter position was an area of concern for Georgia State heading into this tournament.
You know, Palmer's done a good job just stepping into the role. She's listed as a DS, but had to fill the role in that setting position. Didn't get her feet there on the last ball, but I'm expecting big things from her today.
Kowakowski eaten up on the back row, outside, off the block. Overpass, joust at the net. Kowakowski kept it alive. Here's Martinez. Arkansas State in system, high off hands. The kill there for Billings.
On that slide attack, that's a good seam kill. So you're working between that deep corner and middle back. It's an open spot on the slide attack. Billings finding it on her first swing.
Maloney serves long. Georgia State able to get that side out off of the service error. There's Livy Kowakowski out of Lake Orion, Michigan. Good float serve. Madigan will turn it over. Outside, this is Mitchell. And that one going to Arkansas State.
That was a fantastic setup, and then the close by Yaz Billings to get that block straight down. Beautifully done.
First look at Elida Dinser, the senior out of Turkey. Early advantage for the Red Wolves. And Dinser, a service area. You feel some nerves for both of these teams early on, Keely.
Yeah, exactly what you're feeling, Noah. These servers, they're trying to go for it, trying to win the match at the first set, first couple points. But everybody will settle into their game. Once the sweat gets going, I always feel that you settle in as a player.
You need that lather a little bit,
yeah,
right?
You do. I really feel like you do.
Madigan looks outside for Whitlock. Kowakowski out underneath it. Swing out of the back row, covered. Turned over for Billings on the slide. She's got her second kill.
Billings, you already have 2 kills on the slide attack on 3 attempts. You can see early on the strategy kick in for Arkansas State. When in doubt, let's find Billings on the slide.
This is the junior out of Flower Mound, Texas. Sarah Martinez serving. First look at Bella Ferrari at the setter position, into the block, and down. A kill there for Aaliyah Mitchell.
That swing by Mitchell, she was going for it on the rip. She didn't care if there was 2 hands in front of her, 0 hands. That was a pure out. I'm going to test my power to your block penetration, and she got the kill.
Sometimes a little naivety from the freshman's a good thing. Madigan outside, Whitlock into the block, has the kill.
Whitlock, our highlighted player, loves to go into the hands. That's another test your power swing. This time she got the angle off the block to come up with the tool kill.
Both teams clearly have come out swinging here early on in Foley. There's Madigan to serve. Ferrari found Durnell, and she'll pick up the kill into the cross court.
That was a beautiful reverse back set by Ferrari. Watch her go forward. And then deceptive technique, reversing that back for the left-handed swing down the line.
A thing of beauty here early on. It seems like that lather may be starting to come together for both sides.
Yeah, just really get that sweat going, Noah. I tell you what, it's a new match.
Georgia State out of rotation. So a point for Arkansas State, a miscue. And Terry Hutchinson not pleased.
You know, this is bound to happen when you have different lineups, and I feel bad for Hutchinson. He's had to play around with so many different injuries, so new players in different positions. So that's a matter of time only to get an out-of-rotation call.
7 players currently out for Georgia State, 3 of the season-ending variety. Ferrari in system, found Burt, sent back. Here's Wyatt. Goes off hands for the kill.
There was no other place that Wyatt was looking but high into the hands. That was a nice flat shot and caught a friendly bounce of those fingertips to hit that one long. Another high jumper we got in the gym today.
Here's Marin Palmer back to serve. Junior out of Des Moines, Iowa. 4 in black today. Good pass. Madigan in system. Punched over. A look for the Red Wolves. Down the line. Tegan Searing with a big swing.
You can see the strategy for Arkansas State. Let's go ahead and work the right side. First with the slide attack. Now you're seeing Searing on the right side, hitting that one down the line. Nicely done.
Nothing Kołakowski could do with that big swing from Searing. Good pass up for Palmer, punched over by Burt. Here's Searing has a go, and Georgia State a different result this time.
You got Burt with an extra effort, 14 on your screen with the close. She made the extra move. Watch her be a little late even, but got there with the extra penetration, get that one to drop in the court.
Akira Burt, the conference's leader in blocks per set during the regular season, has her first block in Foley. Here's Searing, still working that right side. Kołakowski with a nice save. Punched over. Down ball set for Searing. Kept alive. Palmer looking outside for Mitchell. Has another kill.
Noah, those two swings from Mitchell, you're right. She's just going up and ripping it. That's the freshman naivety that you got going. I'm going to go strong. I got nothing to lose. Tomorrow I might not play volleyball. Let me lay out today and give it all I got.
Here's Aaron Wyatt. Madigan had to chase. An opportunity here for Georgia State again for Mitchell and another big swing. That one out of play, no touch, they set at the net. Why is Arkansas State relying on that right side so much?
You know they have a height advantage over there. So you see off the slide attack with Billings, and now you're seeing it with Searing on the right side. The height advantage is there, but the last swing, Searing got that line kill, and then she adjusted to cross court. If I'm her, I'm trying to go back to that line kill, or even between the corner and the middle back zone 5 and 6 to get more of a seam kill.
Continuing to use all those tools in the toolbox. They did indeed call the touch off the block, so Arkansas State will serve. That's why Terry Hutchinson was frustrated, and it'll be an ace for the Red Wolves.
One thing Coach Brian Gerwig said is he's confident in his service game with this team. This is a good flat ball right at your face. You got to decide fast. Do I open up and play with my platform, or do I step back and play with my hands?
A lot of discussion early on between that down official and both coaching staffs.
Ooh, that's
that was just long. Maybe an early challenge?
He's shaking it off. We're watching his body language. Like, you gonna reach for that green card? I think he's gonna hold off.
Brian Gerwig has done a fantastic job. 9-22 a year ago were these Red Wolves, over 500 this year. Here's Billings, sent back. Madigan will push it outside, and a kill for the Red Wolves. Looked like that was Dinser.
The rally saving play was the cover by Caitlin Whitlock, picking up the ball. You see that cover? And that gives an extra opportunity for the swing put away. Excellent cover, Whitlock.
Now Dinser back to serve. Palmer outside. Mitchell rolled it over, kept up. Big swing from Whitlock, and there was Wyatt again. Mitchell, she's just taking swings right now.
Let's go, Mitchell. I'm a fan right now. That's how you got to play. You know, there's something to it. When you recognize season might feel long when you're in it, and then you get to tournament play, you're like, oh my gosh, if we lose, we're done. So when that mentality kicks in, you have nothing to lose. And I'm loving the freshman play by Mitchell right now, going strong.
Bella Ferrari in to serve. for the Panthers. They trail by 2. Madigan outside Whitlock, high off the block. Ferrari quickly. Good defense from Georgia State. Here's Mitchell off the block. Second chance, no. Longest rally of the match so far. Durnell couldn't end it. Pushed over, still going. Here's Billings, and Kowakowski made a nice play. Mitchell, no touch.
That's the impressive defense that we're seeing from Georgia State. Long rallies, but just not enough. And Arkansas State coming up with a major point of a momentum swing.
Here's Kowakowski, search for Durnell. Kept up. That was Maloney. Pushed over by Whitlock. Ferrari in system, roofed on the outside.
Stellar block. That's go ahead, push her out. You got a freshman Whitlock saying, I can do it too. Watch the block setup, guys. Gets all the way out there. Eyes down, penetration. Some want to with the setup.
Textbook even.
Beautiful.
4-point Red Wolves advantage here in the opening set. Quickly denied in the middle. Arkansas State having their way right now with Georgia State.
Ferrari, the setter for Georgia State, doing an excellent job trying to force the middles. That's what you have to do, risk everything. That time, Arkansas State's block set up a little too strong.
Timeout on the floor for Georgia State. Arkansas State leading by. Take a look at our officials in today's match. They've been busy early. Kim Washam up top, Heather Carnley down on the floor. Thomas Merritt, Michael Dalton, our line judges today. Red Wolves off to a strong start, and Foley as Martinez serves out of the timeout. Here's Durnell. Madigan.
Love it.
To the middle, easy for Hollingshed.
What started that transition offense was the touch off the block that slowed the ball down, and then going behind to get the kill.
Arkansas State having some success through the middle here in the early going. They lead by 6. Georgia State out of system. Big swing there from Mitchell. And she has the kill. She has not been cheated today.
I'm loving it, Mitchell. Walk it off back to that service line. You deserve a little roundabout with that one.
Former AVCA All-American in high school at Sun Valley. Short serve. Madigan looks for Whitlock. Kept up by Wyatt. Ferrari finds Wyatt in the back row. Tried to tattoo the back line. Too strong.
That was the right idea. Coming up the gut, trying to hit that ball. It's a 2-ball. She just backed up for that transition, but just hitting that ball a little bit behind her head, not giving enough top spin to get it to drop.
Explain the 2-ball for someone who might be newer to volleyball.
It's just, imagine an up and down ball right in the middle. Enough height that the hitter feels like it has time. It's not a set hit type of fastball, but it's more of like a loopier ball to the middle, giving a hitter enough time to take a solid approach. You saw that with Wyatt. I bet they go to it again because it was a one-on-one opportunity.
Here's Amanda Albertini, the transfer out of UC Irvine. First year with the program. Serves long.
One thing I think Arkansas State's doing a nice job is the touch off the block and then transition kills. I think Georgia State's hanging in there. They're doing those long rallies back and forth, but the only player really producing kills right now is on the outside, Mitchell. She has 4 kills of the team's 6.
Short serve from Whitlock. Pushed over by Burt, kept up. Whitlock will swing out of the pipe. Ferrari out for Wyatt, kept up by Madigan. Here's Dinser, awkward swing. There's Kowakowski, nice play. Durnell tried to end it, couldn't. Another lengthy rally. And kept up by Martinez. These two teams trading haymakers. Here's Wyatt. Easy for Martinez. Whitlock punches it too strong. It's been the problem for Georgia State this year. The longer these rallies go, they don't have the offense to put away a team.
You almost wait for that opportunity, like we just saw, that hit out of bounds. For Georgia State, they trust their defense. They trust that fire, that fight that they have, but you're right, it's the offensive termination. So waiting on the other team to make an error is not a long-term goal, but for the short term, you'll come up with a few points.
Here's Searing right into the block. Now Dinser kept up. Into the block, a kill. That was Mitchell again.
Mitchell's loving going off the hands, that nice high swing, getting that Broom, getting it strong.
Second look, it did look like it was Caleb Broom who had that kill on the outside. Here's Palmer. Madigan quickly for Hauling Shed, and she's got her third kill in the early going.
Get that into the hands, fearless type of attacking we're seeing.
It'll be G. Weiler in for the first time. Freshman out of Indiana. Palmer quickly for Burt, kept up by Whitlock. Now Dinser takes the swing and down. That Georgia State block starting to have some success.
That's a great block setup by Broom. When you can get the setup, it makes it easier to close and get that penetration down. Georgia State, like you said, Noah, confident in their defensive play. That fight, the block, now can they push and transition?
Touched over, easy there. Billings again.
You can see Arkansas State. Anytime that ball is close to the net, they say we have the height advantage with our middles. Throw it up there. Billings coming up with a push kill down to the middle of the court.
What's the move if you're Georgia State to combat the height?
You just have to put your hands up and hope for a touch. You don't try to go for the block unless you physically set up. Slow down the ball, and then when you go to swing, you just have to go hard, because right now Arkansas, with the swings we're seeing, going up strong, Dinter getting another one. It's causing Coach Hutchinson to get him to take this time out, because it's just too much offense you're seeing right now from Arkansas State.
Dinser perfectly splitting that block, in the Red Wolves first to 20 here. Strong start for Arkansas State. Let's look at the bracket. So many games coming up over the next 5 days in Foley. This the first game of the first round. We'll see App State and ULM later. And then you start to see some of the 4 and 5 seeds. Won't see the top seeds, Keely, until Thursday.
What I love about a Sun Belt Championship is that at the end of this, somebody's going to the NCAA tournament. There's enough with RPI to make a argument for any of these teams, but you're looking at a screen that if any of these teams can make it to the end, they're going postseason play, and that's what you drive for.
Keely, thinking ahead to those top teams that maybe we'll see on Friday, going into this tournament, who's your favorite?
Gosh, that's a hard one. I'm really looking forward to the James Madison Texas State matchup. I think that's, if they can get there, it's going to be strong. Coastal Carolina looks good. Troy's always one that is fearless, going high into the hands on their swing. They go a higher block, we can do it. Gosh, it's anybody's game.
Maybe even a South Alabama, the champion 2 years ago.
Oh, a Sobolewski on the outside. Cannot wait to see her compete with setter Kaylee Keeble as well.
So much talent in the Sun Belt this year. Arguably the best year in Sun Belt volleyball history. We'll certainly get into that more as the broadcast moves on and this week moves on. Brian Gerwig has to be feeling good about how his team is playing here in the early going. Here's Mia Maloney. Might have heard of her sister Kenzie. She was an All-American libero at Nebraska, won the 2017 NCAA title with the Cornhuskers, and Cornhuskers having another good year at Nebraska this season.
Yeah, had a record number, Guinness Book of World Record number for how many people showed up at that football stadium.
Off the block, a kill there for Broom. Keely, you didn't have 100,000 playing at games you used to play back in the day, did you?
No, you know, the biggest we had was at Nebraska, Nebraska I played at. We beat them, by the way. Nebraska, speaking of that, throw that in, why not?
Feather in your cap.
You can't, like, miss saying that. And then in the Elite Eight, when we played Hawaii, packed out, it was pretty sweet, that environment.
Good serve from Kowakowski. Out for Dinser, kept up by Wyatt. Here's Mitchell. Softer swing this time. Pushed over by Billings.
Yes, girl.
Mitchell off the block.
Yes, all day long. Where's Mitchell? You're going to find her. This is what you call in volleyball a hot hand. You see in her face, she's fearless, going ahead, taking rips. She's going for it.
You continue to go right back to those hot hands.
Got to.
Madigan tried to turn that one over, punched over, and down the center of the campfire, found by Whitlock.
It's only a matter of time. You just got to go if you're Georgia State. Can we get that transition? Can we find Mitchell? Because these quick side outs, that tip kills. This is our third tip kill to the middle of the court. Arkansas State knows how to get the point.
5-point Red Wolves lead here in set one. Tight to the net, into the block and down. Billings again makes a stand at the net.
That's what a solo in the stat sheet saying, yep, that was all me. Taking that one front net, getting the clamp.
Everyone loves a good solo block.
You know how they do in the stat sheet, sometimes a block assist, it counts you like for two people when you know you're the one that got it or you know your teammate got it. So right there, Billings was like, hey guys, count that one for me.
Little delay, back to action now. Arkansas State 3 points away from taking this opening set in Foley. Into the block, punched back over. 4 contacts called. They said it never went over the net on that attack by Broom.
You know, I thought that was a great pass by Wyatt. Set attack solid, just not able to clear the net on that swing, but overall, beautiful stick in the pass. That's how you get a start in offense.
Kowakowski eaten up. Palmer had to chase it. Big swing from Broom. Kept alive. Free ball for the Red Wolves. Out for Whitlock. She'll take us to set point.
Whitlock, our highlighted player for this reason. High jump and power attack. You give her a one-on-one opportunity. Chances up, she's coming with that kill.
Splitting that seam. Third kill there for Whitlock. Set point here for the Red Wolves. And an ace for Dinser ends it for Arkansas State. A resounding response as Arkansas State looks to carry the momentum in from the end of the regular season into Foley. The Red Wolves off to a strong start here today, rolling here early on. Back in Foley as we take a look at stats through one set. Arkansas State 12 earned kills, Georgia State just 9. Keely, what stands out?
The difference with Georgia State is that Mitchell has 5 of the team's 9 kills, while on Arkansas State, you have 5 hitters with 2 or more kills, so much more of a balanced offense you're seeing. That's where you're seeing a higher production in hitting percentage and total kills for Arkansas State.
Keely, is that why we saw as those rallies got extended that Arkansas State was able to separate themselves because of the balance in their scoring attack?
Correct, and the heat behind the block, behind the attack. So you're seeing Arkansas State loaded with different attackers. So at any given moment, you got setter Madigan being able to dish to the middle, to the outside, one-on-one opportunities, and then long rallies. Arkansas State's been coming up with the point.
Brian Gerwig's team, the Darling a year ago, they made a run all the way to the quarterfinals, one in the first round and in the second. They were upended in a 5-set thriller to Troy in those quarterfinals. Red Wolves continuing to play well here in Foley, and this is a program, a very proud program. 6 titles, the most all time, but have not had a title since 2015, Keely.
And when you have that type of history, that's what you can recruit behind. You're seeing strong players. You know, there's been a lot of injuries, but I know Coach Gerwig cannot wait to get in spring practice as this team continues to train and improve because they're so young and so much potential ahead.
This team, 13 freshmen and sophomores on the roster, just 4 upperclassmen for the Red Wolves. This team quite literally growing up before our eyes. Here's Mia Maloney, some strong serving. in that first set for the Red Wolves. Ferrari quickly to the middle. Kept alive. Now they'll go to Mitchell. Turned over for Durnell. Another lengthy rally. Here's Billings on the slide. Arkansas State scrambling. Chance to reset for Georgia State. They go to Durnell. Ferrari, big swing. Mitchell has the kill on the outside.
Keep going, a nice swing, going strong. You have Wyatt taking a power inside shot around the block with a deep corner kill.
Second kill of the afternoon for Wyatt. Serve from Albertini. Madigan turning it over, roofed.
You know, Noah, sometimes you just need one set to warm up. This is a Georgia State team. Now you're seeing the swing by Wyatt, followed up now by a block between the right side and middle, going strong. That's the type of energy, as a coach, you just remind your players, guys, we have nothing to lose. Go out, go strong.
Rolled over. Ferrari looks outside for Wyatt, has another kill. What's gone better for Georgia State here to start the second set?
Wyatt, it looks like she's taking it on her back. She's a senior saying, you know, I didn't like my first set. Feed me the ball. I can do it too. Between the two outside hitters, Wyatt and Mitchell, I think there could be a different looking set for Georgia State.
Wyatt came in as the team's leader in kills during the regular season with 192. Madigan looks for Billings. Here's Billings again. Touchdown. Wyatt having a great second set.
That's some senior want to right now, saying, okay, if I'm looking around for a teammate to step up, and I gotta be that teammate. Wyatt with the kill, and now coming up with a block, set up, penetration. Little hang time always helps.
Does anything beat a good block, Keely?
What beats a good block? I would say
probably an assist, right?
No, a good dig off a power swing. When a hitter thinks they just cracked the ball and it's going to the floor, and then you come up with the dig, or your teammate comes up with the dig, it's more of a like a chest bump. Like, what else you got?
It would have been pretty on brand for you to say a good assist. I know that you dig a good assist.
Yeah, but it's not as cool. It's not. Like, you get a little more like excited if you come up with a big dig, or if your teammate just got blocked and you come up with a swing, you know, all those fun things.
Here's Dinser. Has the ace.
You trust your service game. So you go, okay, we're struggling a little bit, just getting through the block, getting around, digging, so let's go after the service game. A little seam action. Let's see if she can do it again.
This Georgia State team second worst in the regular season in serve receive. Ferrari quickly for Burt. That one off the hands. Actually, it looked like a missed signal up top. It will be Arkansas State point. And some confusion, it looks like. Terry Hutchinson wanted an explanation, and now he will challenge. So we'll get you some looks at this in just a moment. It was interesting. Initially, it looked like that one had been called a point for Georgia State, and then our chair official actually changed the call, and I think that confusion is what enticed Terry Hutchinson into a challenge.
So Coach Hutchinson is checking to see if there was a touch off this block to cause that ball to go out of bounds. And I'm sure Coach Gerwig wants to see if there was a net violation by the setter as she went up. So it's one of those, could be a double challenge call.
Here's a look. That one a little quick. We'll see if we can find you another look. We're being told that they're looking at a net fault there, and I think that's the point you just made. Did Billings make contact as she attempted the block?
So live, we saw net motion, right? So the question is, was it caused by the ball? Because the net in volleyball should not move. If it moves, it's either caused by a player or the ball.
See, I think the net was already moving.
I agree.
I'm not sure Billings made contact, and then in that situation, that ball clearly did not make contact. It would have gone out, which would mean Arkansas point. The call would stand.
Yeah, the net was moving, but it had to happen earlier in the rally. to cause. Let's check it out. Oh, off the bounce, okay, with the serve. I don't see any extra motion. So did it, I was looking at the net. I didn't even see if it went off the fingers of the blocker. That's hilarious.
Too much to pay attention to. So currently Arkansas State point. An unsuccessful challenge would keep it 4-3. So the call will stay. Arkansas State maintaining the point. There was no touch by Billings at the net. So a break there for the Red Wolves. Now back within one on a 3-0 scoring run after Georgia State got off to the strong start. Each team with 2 challenges remaining. Ferrari couldn't chase that one down. Why is Arkansas State having success serving the volleyball?
You know, I think it's the motion for Georgia State passers not getting an early read. You can almost see the delay and then reaction time as they move toward the ball. Before a server hits, you need to get a read motion to see and feel where she's going so you're not caught just reacting late to the serve.
Good serve from Dinser, ate up Kowakowski. Here's Wyatt having a good set, couldn't terminate. Dinser out of the back row. Down ball set from Kowakowski, found Durnell. Madigan touches it over. Durnell into the block, rejected. Billings and Whitlock teaming up.
Billings showing that she's a wall right in the middle of the court. Nice help by Whitlock. Just when you thought Georgia State was gonna maybe get out of that rally, come through with it. That was a shutdown block right there.
4 blocks apiece for these 2 teams early on in set 2. Touched over by Durnell. Big swing from Whitlock, she'll tool the block.
I like that, Whitlock tool the block right there. Going high into the hands. One thing about Whitlock is she is fearless. That's another freshman, 5'8", jumps like she's 6'2" on her extension, going through that seam, getting it to drop through the block.
Keely, I would like to take credit. I didn't think of that ahead of time, though.
Hey, it was smooth. Let's make her a t-shirt.
Ferrari locates Burt and took out Martinez.
I love that for the Panthers. Force in the middle when you're slightly off. That was a good connection. That's what Georgia State wanted to do in the first set, just not able to get the kill. But after that challenge call, they said, okay, it's an open swing, so if we get it again, let's go back to it.
But it requires a good pass.
You're 100% right.
Too strong. 4th service error of the match for Georgia State.
You know, Hollingshed's back in the front row. That's a strong block as well for Arkansas State. You're getting a combination between Billings and Hollingshed. That's a walls you got to work through if you're Georgia State.
Palmer finds Bird, kept up. Nice play from Dinser. Whitlock punches it over, out of play. That's been the story, though, for Arkansas State. There's a lot of nice pieces on this Red Wolves roster, Keely. They're just young.
And that takes time and practice. You think the difference of even growth maturity from freshman to senior year, it's a whole different level. So that's what Coach Gerwig is all about, the growth and maturity of his team. And just know that he has their back as he continues to teach them to grow in the game and also as people.
+6 win improvement this year for the Red Wolves. Palmer with the down ball. There's Mitchell into the block, has the kill.
It's like between the offense, you're like, okay, great, Georgia State. You got some middle action going. Mitchell's in your front row. She's lighting it up. That's a 6th kill. Take a smile. That's like holding back your grin because you know you're hot right now.
Knew she was on television, probably. Madigan outside. Whitlock responding right back.
That's how you cut momentum for any team. Right after a solid play, you come back and side out right away. You shut down that momentum quickly. I love the low flat set by Madigan on your screen right now. Nice set.
What's the abbreviation these coaches like to use? FBSOs? First ball side out?
FBSO. I thought you almost cussed right there, and then I remembered it was a volleyball term.
Right back into the face of Burt in an Arkansas State point. We try to keep it at least PG on these broadcasts,
Yeah.
Keely.
I'm like, where are you going with that, Noah? Where are you going with that?
Madigan back to serve. Mitchell off hands for the kill.
The nice thing about that swing, not only did she get the blockers to get a net violation, she caught the hands on that swing. So either way, Mitchell was coming up with a kill. I'd be smiling if I were you too.
That's like when you go to the grocery store, one of those buy one, get one frees.
Yeah.
Out for Whitlock.
We got a little BOGO action, the buy one, get one free. That time, they were hoping to get the ball out to Mitchell, just a little misset.
Breaking out all the acronyms here early on. Two-point Red Wolves lead. Whitlock almost had an ace. Mitchell sent it over. Here's Searing, kept up, nice play by Kołakowski. Wyatt out of the back row, found hands.
There you go. I love the mixing up of the set. Wyatt is a new player in this set saying, okay, I'm here in the back row if you need me as well. Going high, deep shot. Lucky to catch the defender too.
That certainly has been a struggle, that setter position this year for Georgia State. We mentioned those 3 season-ending injuries all at the setter position. As we see Dinser pick up the kill right there. Keely, you understand this better than anyone. Consistency at the setter position is key to a team having success.
Because it takes a moment in practice where you continue to work and then finally clicks between you and a hitter. So that takes time to develop. And between Coach Hutchinson trying to mix it up and trying to get hitters and setters connection going, he doesn't have enough time in the season to make that click.
Mitchell, huge swing kept up. Pushed over and a kill there for Albertini. Georgia State's offense has looked much more dynamic in the second set.
You know, because we're seeing multiple players. Albertini just ready at that block for it, but you're seeing players like Wyatt and then Burt getting an attack also in the middle, adding to what Mitchell's already been doing, the star player right now for Georgia State.
She needed some Robbins to her Batman. Here's Saylor in. Madigan outside, Dinser into the block and down. A point for Georgia State as they tie it at 11.
And you can see Georgia State talking on the court. It was pretty quiet in the first set. Their body language changing. Whatever Coach Hutchinson said between the 2 sets, it's working.
Good serve from Saylor. Madigan touched it to the middle. Here's Wyatt. Good platform from Martinez. Searing kept up. Now the free ball. Can the Red Wolves take advantage? They can't. Ferrari quickly. Albertini finds an opening.
Ferrari, setter for Georgia State, is getting the green light. If you're 5 feet off the net, you go ahead and force your middle back. That one, Albertini was ready to send that ball to the corner.
Oh, Georgia State just got lucky. Out for Dinser. And that one into the antenna, so Georgia State builds a 2-point lead.
That's a solid lead, the dynamics for Georgia State. They're playing harder. That was definitely, like you said, a friendly bounce off the net, but just the demeanor of the team playing strong today.
Dinser high off hand. She has the kill. She's been trying for it out there. Finally gets one.
You know, all week before you head into the tournament, you watch the scouting report, you watch video on the other team, and that one was just a strategic deep corner shot. Said, I know my defenders are deep in the middle back and then inside cut shot. Let me go ahead and test the deep corner.
Ferrari looking outside for Wyatt, finds the line. Georgia State's also, they've mixed up their shots better here in this second set.
Yeah, Wyatt, 5 kills right now. Changing up her shot, making it really hard to set up on her defensive side. Like, where is she hitting?
Arkansas State doesn't know.
Exactly. That's the best type of offense right there. You don't know where to set up on the defense.
Here's Dinser again, same result. 6th kill for Elida Dinser.
You just need scissors if you're Arkansas State, like cutting momentum on these quick side outs. Athletically done. Jump it out, keeping that ball on her right side to save it for a hard cross-court shot.
Strong start for Dinser, 6 kills, 6 digs here midway through the second set. Here's the swing from Wyatt. Pushed over by Whitlock. They run it to the middle for Wyatt, and that one off of the line judge, easy call.
You have the line judge just standing off the court, and it hits the backside of your shoe. That's an easy call to call that out.
That's why they position themselves right on that corner.
I would do it too. Like
I wouldn't. I'm too chicken to stand in there.
Just standing strong. Don't they play in social media? They play those games. Like, do you trust my defense and have somebody staying behind you?
15-14, Georgia State after the service ace. Media break in Foley. Georgia State responding nicely here in the second set. Hercules tires are meant to dig dirt, sling mud, and pound pavement to get you safely to your destination. See what tires are right for you by visiting HerculesTires.com. Hercules Tires, the official tire of the Sun Belt Conference. Ride on our strength. Alongside the former All-American Keely Evelyn, I'm Noah Frary. Keely, Arkansas State started this match strong, though Georgia State has really responded nicely here in this second set.
I like that Georgia State's forcing their middle when they're slightly off. The defensive energy and the communications much better. And then offensively, the two outside hitters, Aaron Wyatt and Mitchell, just putting up some numbers to keep this lead.
You said it early, there is something to be said about postseason nerves, jitters. And I think Georgia State dealt with a little bit of that in that first set.
I agree, and you saw it with the missed serves right away. And then only offense we saw by Mitchell on the outside. Now you're seeing a much better team fight.
Madigan finds Whitlock, kept up by Palmer. The down ball kept alive. Nice play by Martinez. Whitlock swinging out of system has the kill to tie it at 15.
Whitlock making a strategic scouted play shot. You saw she took pace off. She's just trying to find the open court, knowing exactly where the court was.
So that's something that she would have seen in film?
Correct. Early on, those shots, if you haven't used it yet, you're like, oh, I remember as you go up and make the swing, recognizing it's called perimeter defense, that your line, a digger is down the line and middle back will stay high seam. So you know that inside line shot deep is open court.
Broom had the nice kill on the slide there. Arkansas State hanging tough here in set two. This is Wyatt having a good second set. Madigan ran it quickly for Hollingshed. And a double called against Palmer.
That was a beautiful pass on Arkansas State. I thought it was going to be a quick side out. Georgia State coming up with a nice touch off that block, though. I always feel bad for setters with the double contact. You always like go, shake it off, get the next one, because I've been there.
Right into the block and down, a kill for Georgia State. And who else? Aaliyah Mitchell.
No, we talked in the commercial about what does it take to be a good hitter at Division I level. It's all about, do you have speed in your arm? And then as a coach, you can develop that consistency, the control. Mitchell has the speed and is adding the control to her game.
Kowakowski, short serve. Big swing, Whitlock denied. Kayla Broom on the outside.
The extra penetration, Albertini with the close, that extra hang time to get the penetration. You have Broom with the setup, and she got it all with those hands.
Here's Whitlock off the tape. It'll be 4 contacts on the Red Wolves.
You know, with this match in particular, we expected long rallies, battles back and forth. Georgia State looking really strong as a team in this second set.
Brian Gerwig calling the timeout here. Arkansas State trailing by 3. His team giving up a 3-0 run. Keely, we mentioned it, a banner year in the Sun Belt Conference. We take a look at the major award winners. How excited are you to watch Jasmine Reve play later this week?
Oh, I cannot wait. You talk about high jumpers, one of the highest in NCAA playing right now, the power, and then you follow it up by these stellar standouts. I cannot wait to see all these players go at it.
Kaylee Keeble, the setter of the year, she's had to sit behind Emily DeWalt, who won the last 5. DeWalt finally graduates. Keeble finally the setter of the year in the conference.
I guess there's a thing. If you're a good setter, you might as well head under South Alabama. There seems to be a theme there.
Keely, I think the theme in this conference for a lot of these major awards, they're hard to get with all the talent in the league right now.
And I love talking to all the coaches, how passionate they were to fight for all of their players, that they had such belief that those little spots, what is it, 12 each first team, 12 second team? Those
Not
are
many.
hard, not many to get when you have 14 teams in the league.
Spots certainly becoming harder and harder to come by as the quality of this league has elevated over the last several seasons. Here's the freshman Whitlock, high off the block. Palmer looks to Mitchell. Madigan was there. Second chance now for Whitlock, goes short with it. Mitchell punched it up. Both teams out of sorts a little bit, but it's Arkansas State that comes up with the kill. That was Abby Harris.
You know, that's not what you expected, right? So a transition play, you expected more of a set hit combination, but the tip in the middle of the court, it was a little bit behind her, making a save. The tip in the middle of the court is going down for Georgia State. So that's something in your brain, like, okay, if I don't have it, let me try to tip middle.
Kind of a safety blanket, a security blanket of sorts. Mitchell, she's not tipping.
Yeah, you don't tip to win championships right there. Mitchell says, hey, I am here, keep feeding me. You almost look at her and say, you know you're a hot hand right now. You want to look at the setter and say, give me the ball, and take on that responsibility. It's not normally in that freshman blood, but as she's developing, I'm looking at it, go Mitchell, ask for it.
Here's Dinser, rolled it over. Ferrari got underneath it. Out of Simpson for Darnell. Whitlock will swing out of the pipe. Darnell has another go into the block, kept up. Pushed over Mitchell, that one never made it over. A rare mistake so far in this match for Aaliyah Mitchell.
This is all Arkansas State wants right now. They're like, you know what? We have to push hard. If we win this, we really want it to happen in 3. We don't want to go long with Georgia State because we're not really sure who can pull off a 4th set, 5th set. So Arkansas State really trying to make a push right now.
Here's G. Weiler. Albertini, awkward swing. Jousted the net and down. Billings coming up with the kill.
The best thing about Billings for Arkansas State, that's a 6'2" sophomore. You got more years with her. Taking ownership of the net. Great double effort to get that one down.
Kelly, you mentioned a few moments ago, you talk about players and coaches advocating for their players. You talk about Yaz Billings, and this is a player that this coaching staff, Brian Gerwig in particular, feels will be an all-conference player in the next year or 2.
Yeah, he's so impressed with her development and growth. I really love how she's going to continue under Coach Gerwig, saying, yep, her match, when she gets to her senior, it's lights out because she'll be so offensive, adding to that defensive part of her game.
Billings had a strong debut season with 71 blocks a year ago. Coming up after this one, the 7 seed out of the West, ULM, versus the 6 seed out of the East. Keely, what are you excited about in that matchup?
Oh gosh, you know what? I'm excited for this entire tournament about the hard fighting we're gonna get every single, like we just thought Arkansas State, oh, this might be an easy 3-0, but you're gonna see battle after battle as we go into this entire tournament because you throw the record out of the door. It doesn't matter. It all matters who shows up today. So between next match and the future matches, gosh, we're in for some major good volleyball.
Billings there in the center of your screen. We were talking about her as we went into the timeout. 3 kills, 4 blocks in the early going. She's been efficient for this Red Wolf side. Here's G. Weiler still serving. Nearly had the ace off the net. It rolls back for Dinser. Wow, how'd that one go over? Now double contact called against Georgia State. That's where some of the struggles in the setter position, I think, tend to show up.
You know, that's only a matter of time and training and getting those setter rolls. But right now, if you're Arkansas State, you're like, this is what you wanted. After timeout, pushing points, trying to shut up any type of belief that you feel like Georgia State's been creeping on in the second set. Arkansas State going strong.
G. Weiler into the net. Hollingshed will rotate back in for Arkansas State as Mitchell heads back behind the service line.
You know, that's not so much good news for Georgia State. You got Mitchell now in the back row. She's the one putting up points for you.
Good pass to Madigan. In system for Billings, kept alive. Here's Dinser, rolled it over. Ferrari got there. Wyatt, big swing, found the playing surface in front of Martinez.
Wyatt's like, Keely, did you forget about me in the second sets? Because I've been scoring. I'm loving it. Senior leadership right here saying, I want to win this set so badly, going inside the block with great vision.
Wyatt all smiles, and rightfully so. Off to a strong start today in Foley with 6 kills. And a service miscue. Georgia State leaving that door cracked open right now.
That one hurts just a little bit because you're creeping into the end of this set. So little misserve, it takes away a little error on your side. For Arkansas State, you've got to take advantage right now.
And the Red Wolves have had success in this rotation with Maloney serving. Ferrari, here's Durnell, kept up. Dinser, good recovery in the swing. Wyatt swung out of system. That's a tough swing from Dinser. Out for Wyatt, kept alive by Whitlock. Dinser, third swing, rejected and kept up. She'll have a fourth. Wow, great defense from Georgia State. And now Wyatt coming through, the crafty veteran with a nice play.
Best rally of the match so far. And then senior Whitlock saying, I got respect on the defensive side because I've been pounding, defenders sitting on their heels. Let me go ahead and drop in a tip shot.
7th kill on her 19th swing for Aaron Wyatt here in this match. It was the Aaliyah Mitchell show early on. We talked about that she needed some help. She's gotten that from Wyatt.
Yeah, so Mitchell now with 9 kills, Wyatt with 7 kills, hitting .263 and then adding 9 digs to her game. Looking great, but that's the leadership you want, and you expect Coach Hutchinson's got to be happy with how his team's come out in that second set.
Keely, Arkansas State coming out of this timeout, what do you need to see from them?
For Arkansas State, you just really have to focus on where Wyatt is. Or even when Mitchell's in the front row, you go ahead and double up. And you say, go ahead, any other attacker, you're going to try to beat us one-on-one, but we're not letting the Mitchell and Wyatt on the outside go up with 1 blocker. Set up 2 blockers and then defend around.
How about offensively? It seems like they become kind of one-dimensional around Dinser. How do you get someone else involved?
You know, I love the right side, but what we saw in the first set, that slide attack, we haven't seen it in the second set. So going off the slide attack, an inside slide, causing a little more chaos on that right side. That's where you found kills in the first set. Let's see if you can re-find it in the second.
It didn't feel like Georgia State was good with that movement early on, so maybe try to create it, I think, is the point.
Correct.
This is Albertini back to serve. Georgia State 2 away from a second set win here in Foley. Right back to Dinser out of the timeout, sent across, touched over. Here's Dornell. Martinez got underneath it, good defense. Dinser again down the line, and that takes us to set point in the second.
Dinser was taking that swing and trying to avoid hands hitting that sharp line. That ball, she could have hit just the right hand of the blocker and come up with the tool shot the way she was swinging.
Albertini back serving for set 2. Madigan had a chase. Right to Dinser, roofed. Akira Burt coming up with a big play, and Georgia State taking the second set, the conference's leader. In blocks per set, saved her best first set point. And Georgia State responding back nicely here in set number 2. One apiece after 2 in Foley between the Red Wolves and the Panthers. Third set action coming up. Keely, I think you and I, we went into this tournament expecting some intrigue in some of these early round matches, the first in the second round, and right off the bat, we've gotten it.
I love it, good volleyball. And when you see players just going all out, and you got one on your screen right now, Miss Mitchell doing it.
Mitchell just 1 kill off 10 in the early going. Madigan had to chase. A kill there from Harris, and Arkansas State gets off to a good start.
I think Coach Gerwig was listening to us. He said, yep, let's go back to that right side. Let's work that side, whether it's with the right side or a slide attack. That's where you got kills first set.
Hey, if I was Coach Gerwig and I had us in his ear, I'd probably hit the mute button.
You go ahead and mute it, yeah.
Wyatt has the kill. 8th of the match for Aaron Wyatt.
That's want to right there. Coach Hutchinson said Georgia State's team really wants that extra shot at Georgia Southern. So they're looking past, they're like, okay, if we get through Arkansas State, we have a chance to have a rematch against Georgia Southern.
Everyone loves a good old-fashioned rivalry matchup. Georgia State, Georgia Southern, that one runs deep. Here's Harris again, kept alive by Mitchell. They run it for Burt in the middle. Madigan was there. Searing down the line, and a kill for Georgia State.
Georgia State's block doing a good job taking away the line shot. So Searing was trying to hit even more line, but the even more line was out of bounds on that swing.
That's why that block positioning is so important. Here's Searing, this time tools the block.
That's a sign of a good attacker and even a confident setter to go right back to Searing saying, you missed your line shot. We know you can do it. Let me go ahead and give you confidence. Set you again. Searing going into the hands, not trying to avoid them, and coming up with the tool.
So after the side out, Arkansas State back to serve. Here's G. Weiler. Quickly for Burt. Now Wyatt will have a go and has another kill. 9 kills. She ties Mitchell for the team lead.
Between Wyatt and Mitchell, I really think Georgia State can do this. If they continue to stick passes, you don't have to be perfect when you're setting outside. Just around that 10-foot line, somewhere toward the net, and keep feeding the outside attack.
Little delay here in Foley. Looked like checking there on Yaz Billings. She looked a bit shaken up.
I'm not sure, a lot of times when you're a high jumper blocker, a lot of times you will take one to the face, but that's the jumping ability that Billings has.
Pushed over and down, a kill out of the back row. That was Whitlock.
Whitlock's been quiet all the second set, and that's what we saw Wyatt do when you had a quiet first set. You step it up. Whitlock saying, I'm here for you in the pipe attack. I can come up with the kill.
Here's Palmer, looks outside. Wyatt off the block. Madigan attacked on 2, and Kolakowski kept it off the floor. Free ball now. Madigan outside. That was Hall. Right back to her. Good platform from Palmer. Madigan again to Hall, and Wyatt had it easily. Now they find Billings. She can't convert. Here's Wyatt. Here's that slide you wanted to see more of. Back for Hall, denied. Burt again.
That is pure want to. Long rallies, and you're middle, and you still close on the block. Going sideline to sideline, extra penetration. You give a little high five to the block setup as well. That was perfectly executed.
Short serve from Wyatt. Big swing from Hall. She has her second kill.
Hall looking like she was going cross court and then turning that one sharp down the line. That's how it's done. That's deception in your swing. Nice turn.
The freshman Bailey Hall out of Memphis, Tennessee, missed most of September. Came back, played in multiple matches during Sun Belt Conference play. Here's Mitchell. Touched over by Whitlock. Mitchell will roll it over. Madigan outside Whitlock, big swing, able, or no, they'll say that one went off the net, thought she had the tool.
It did look like that bounce, and then the referee saying it was just the net on the bounce causing that ball to go out of bounds. You see what Georgia State's doing. They're coming all the way over on the line shot by both attackers on the outside. That's causing the attackers to swing a little more out of bounds.
Billings into the net again. Arkansas State just a step off offensively right now.
Georgia State's feeling it. You know you have nothing to lose. You are the underdog in this situation, saying, you know what? We're going to go all out. The pressure's on Arkansas State side.
Good serve from Kowakowski, tight to the net. Madigan pushed it over. Mitchell, roll shot that time. Touched over. Here's Broom. Back for Whitlock. Tools it off the block. What'd Whitlock do differently that time?
Instead of avoiding the hands of the blocker, she went straight into the high hands. If you go into the high hands with any type of motion, that's going to cause the redirect, and chances are you're going to come up with the tool kill.
Looks like we could potentially see a challenge. Terry Hutchinson having a lengthy conversation. You can see that green challenge card in his hands. Looks like he will keep the green challenge card in his pocket.
I always think in my head, I don't know why, should I stay or should I go? Should I use it right now? Coach Hutchinson playing his cards.
Hey, just be glad I didn't start singing with you. The viewers don't want to hear that.
I bet you got a better voice than I got.
So Martinez to serve with the Red Wolves trailing by 1. They won the first set, lost set number 2. Mitchell off hands for the kill, her 10th.
Mitchell swings with speed and a fearlessness going up. She's not scared of a block. That's when you recruit players. You see if they have that piece in the game. A lot of times people go up and they feel confident when they have one-on-one opportunities, but not Mitchell. She said, give me those hands. I can work them.
I think they call that the it factor.
She's got the it factor for sure.
Pushed over by Hollingshed. Jousted the net with Ferrari. She won't win many of those. Here's Hollingshed. Kowakowski kept it off the floor. And a swing there from Wyatt.
Oh, no.
She's down. Actually, Mitchell grasping at that ankle. Looked like she might have landed on a Red Wolf's ankle under the net.
Well, Mitchell, if you go out right now and you got to take care of this injury, you did an excellent job today. I almost have tears like I'm her parent or something. I'm not. But just incredible effort and execution. Your fearless type of play. Only a freshman. Your teammates are loving playing with you.
Mitchell, it looked like she got caught. Watch the left side of your screen.
Yeah, off a teammate's foot. That normally happens, or a block. A lot of times it's under, or you catch it off of Albertini's middle blocker foot. It happens.
Certainly hate to see that for the freshman Aaliyah Mitchell. Killy, you've had that happen to you before.
Oh,
How
yes.
much does that hurt?
Oh my gosh, it like takes your breath away, and then you can recover. Like the initial shock and pain is insane. I've had 5 major right rolled ankles, 6 major left rolled ankles. It's the common injury because it's a jumping game. tight at the net, a lot of times you get the blocker's feet coming under or attacker's feet will come under. And then like we saw in this situation, landing on a teammate. All of that happens often.
Mitchell very gingerly walking off the court on that left angle, had to be helped. Certainly see her in some pain. That has to be frustrating if you're Georgia State. This has been a season marred by injuries. Terry Hutchinson, he said it's been tough at times to even put together a lineup.
You know, if I'm Coach Hutchinson, I'm taking those swings and making a highlight reel for Mitchell and showing that to every recruit. This is who you have to play with. This is the future. She'll be healthy. The ankles are easy to recover. But that's what you have in your future as a teammate. That fearless fight is what we're developing, but it's players like Mitchell that you're building your program off of if you're Coach Hutchinson.
Keely, how tough as a team is it to respond after you see one of your better players go down in a situation like that?
Oh, that takes your air right out of, like, completely away, saying, wow, now we got to rely just on Wyatt. Wyatt can do it on her shoulders. She's got to be a back row presence as well. But between Wyatt and Mitchell on the outside, that's where the offensive production has been. For Arkansas State, they're looking at it. We don't like to see an injury from another team, but we got to roll with this advantage.
Good set from Ferrari. That one into the cross court by Albertini. That one too strong. Georgia State now leads by 2.
No, in the first set, you said Georgia State almost hangs on, waits for the other team to make a mistake. And when you have a player like Mitchell out right now, that's what you need, Arkansas State. A little more breakdown to stay in this match.
Madigan has to chase it. Good swing from Whitlock. Ferrari found Albertini. Madigan underneath it. This is Harris. Has the kill off the block.
That's the right side. That's a deep corner shot. When a right side hitter attacks, the deep corner is never defended because the chances are you have a setter and right back. She can't go all the way in the deep corner because she's got to run up to the net to run an offense. So a smart shot by Harris.
Into the net, a service error gives it back to Georgia State.
If you're Georgia State right now, you're like, okay, there's 2 errors in the last 3-point by Arkansas State. We have to roll with this. Stay united, stay together, and then step up for your teammate Mitchell.
There's Albertini to serve. Her team clinging to a 2-point lead after they took set number 2 from the Red Wolves. And an ace. Albertini gets Georgia State into double digits.
That's how you do it. Easiest point in volleyball is an ace. So you don't have to worry about transition game. Albertini going a nice line flat serve.
Georgia State trying to respond after watching Mitchell exit this game with an ankle injury. Tight to the net. Madigan did a nice job. Found Hollingshed for the kill.
That's one you have to remember. Hollingshed in the middle, that tip kill. It's a throw kill. It's open court for Georgia State. There's not motion into the middle of the court. Everyone's back on their heels. Even if you don't have to hit hard, you can just find court on that play.
Here's G. Weiler. We've seen her come in to serve for most of this match. And a miscue there. 8th service error of the match for Arkansas State.
That's all you need is a little hope. You're like, we can push out of rotations. We don't have the offense right now, but Georgia State coming up with a nice ace and then just easy side outs on missed serves.
Broom coming back in on that front row for Terry Hutchinson's side. Ferrari and Darnell out as Palmer rotates back in as well. Here's Harris unleashed down the line.
Yes, and a little celebration with her libero Martinez saying that's how you do it. That's a power hit, keeping the ball in front of her. An excellent delivery on that set by Madigan.
Keely, that was one of those chest bump worthy plays.
Yes, you do that chest bump.
Palmer runs it for Burt. She's got the kill. When Georgia State can establish that middle, they've been successful.
I'm loving it. This is finding offense, a team effort, saying it starts with the pass. You get the pass. We don't have the outside right now with Mitchell. Playing in Jackson, getting some time, and then now finding some middle with Burt.
Jackson in for the first time. She was questionable coming into this tournament. Here's Dinser, rolls it off the block for the easy kill. Good response from the Red Wolves.
The times the outside hitters have missed has been missing the hand, trying to go too much line. The kills that we're getting, Dinser going into the hands, Whitlock going into the hands of the blockers, that's when you're coming up with easy points.
Those pesky shoelaces. Good serve from Dinser. They run it for Burt again, and Dinser can't handle it. Awkward attempt.
Coach Hutchinson saying, setters, green light, find the middle on the swing. Get them as often as you can.
At this point, you just have to manufacture offense if you're Georgia State with Mitchell out.
And there's something to that because you got to go high risk. You're not really sure how many points you're going to get there, but sometimes that risk taking takes a little pressure off.
Whitlock into the cross court as the kill.
When I see attacks like that by an outside hitter, I'm like, she should play beach volleyball because the beach volleyball is a game of wrist shots. That's a beautiful wrist shot cut inside by Whitlock.
Nothing Kowakowski could do. Georgia State, you talk about beach volleyball, the inaugural winners of the Sun Belt Beach Volleyball Championship a year ago. Beth Van Fleet has built a powerhouse program in Atlanta on the sand. And an ace for Arkansas State, good response. That was Martinez.
This is a tough side-out rotation for Georgia State, so if Arkansas State's going to make a run, it is this rotation with Martinez on the line.
Martinez looked frustrated with the extended delay here.
This is why I tell players you have to develop like a Steph Curry type of rhythm. You know, it goes up free throw line or Nadal in tennis. As a server, you have to develop your own rhythm, the same routine every single time so nothing can ice you.
That way you can get right back into your headspace.
That's right.
Good serve after the delay. And a miscue there. Palmer and Albertini not on the same point. Arkansas State coming back to tie it at 13.
In this rotation, you don't have Mitchell out with the ankle. Wyatt's in your back row, and then Burt, your middle, just went off the court. So this is a rotation. You're like, okay, we got to risk it. Maybe find our middle or just swing tough.
Palmer out for Jackson, into the block and down. The Red Wolves on a 4-0 run. Terry Hutchinson might have to think about a timeout.
I agree. This would be a good time to call it because Arkansas State, you see the communications improving. The confidence has shifted. The energy and momentum is on this Arkansas State side.
In system, Albertini denied. Hollingshed at the net.
You recognize that if you're a block saying we have the advantage, let's keep pushing.
Arkansas State storming back on a 5-0 run.
On a 5-0 run right now, doing it at all ends, out of transition, finding the way to go around the block, deep corner, and then working off the hands, doing a great job. All parts of her game just really clicking. 9 kills, 13 digs for her team.
Aaron Wyatt also having a strong showing for Georgia State. Hollingshed pushes it over. Palmer outside, here's Jackson. Touched over, and Hollingshed dunks it home.
For Arkansas State, out of a timeout, keeping the point is huge because you look across, you're like, we got this. Saying, okay, we know chances are ball's at the net, go in middle, I am all over this ball.
Georgia State struggling to get out of this rotation. Touched over. And Hollingshed can't find the playing surface. That snapped a 6-0 run.
That was a big side out for Georgia State. They're just holding their breath, waiting for Wyatt to come back to the front row, and then following Wyatt is Burt. A little more offense. Happy to get that side out.
You get Darnell back in as well on that left side.
Right, you're right.
Right side. Whitlock, there's the big swing. They turn to Darnell. Martinez, nice play. Whitlock, huge swing, has the kill, her 10th of the match.
You almost want to pass the memo on to the outside hitters for Arkansas State, saying go line into the hands. Line, don't try to hit high seam, not cross court, line into the hands. You're almost batting 1,000 coming up with the kill every time.
Whitlock continuing her strong late season play, had 26 kills in that regular season finale over Marshall. Ferrari can't keep it alive, and the Red Wolves lead by 4. If you're Georgia State without Mitchell, how do you change the equation?
If you're Coach Hutchinson, you just have to tell your setters, force the least expected ball. You have to go high risk, high reward on this, because you understand if there are 4 hands, 2 blockers in front of you, it's hard to get a kill through that.
Keely Caitlin Whitlock having another strong showing, 10 kills in the early going.
I'm loving the step up as a freshman, 5'8", on the outside, putting up a ball. Her setter, Madigan, saying, hey, we can find her. Dintzer getting that one beautifully done on that outside as well. Full team effort you're seeing right from the Red Wolves.
Arkansas State responding nicely, and you hate to say it came after the injury to Mitchell, but that was certainly a fulcrum point in this third set, and the Red Wolves have pulled away here late.
It's never something you want to see when you're playing against somebody going down with the injury. You want to beat somebody fair and square, right? But when you get that advantage, you just have to look across. You're like, I feel bad for her, but we just have to go out and try to still win this match, because in the win-loss column, nobody puts into account injuries.
Red Wolves, as I told you earlier, making a Cinderella run a year ago. They won their first 2 matches, got all the way to the quarterfinals. Nearly took down Troy in a 5-set thriller that would have pushed them into the semifinals. This young Red Wolves team has certainly played well in Foley a year ago and continuing that strong play this season. Ferrari had to chase, nice play, free ball coming. Madigan, outside, Whitlock has another kill.
Whitlock going for an open shot. Nice scramble play. That set was slightly off the net. Whitlock was entering and then had to change up her shot, saying, oh, I got to change this to a roll shot. Let me go ahead and find that deep line.
How hard are those adjustments in midair?
You know, when you're athletic like Whitlock, you're able to mix it up, but it's all about hand control when you're in the air.
Nice pancake from Martinez. Now they'll call it down. It looked like play continued for the moment. Brian Gerwig quickly over to talk to the official, and he will challenge. So at this point, a challenge here would take the point away, but then it would simply be a reserve, a successful challenge.
And you know, I look at Coach Gerwig as he rubs his hair. In the interview, he said, all that blonde is turned to gray this year. You might see blonde, but under it is gray. There's a lot of hard work, late nights, trying to prep a team, dealing with injuries. So yeah, using this challenge card gives him extra time to talk to his team, just to gather them for hopefully a push here in the third set.
So the call on the court was a kill for Whitlock. The Red Wolves certainly responding nicely. What's going on here, Keely?
You know, I don't really know what's going on there. In all my huddles, even playing, anytime you're on the bench, usually you're taking runs. But that's like now fun part of playing volleyball. Play a little game when you probably know you're not going to get some action.
So Georgia State was given the point there.
I have no idea what's going on right now.
Just having some fun.
Is that what this is?
A little friendship circle, maybe?
Hey.
Singing Kumbaya.
Team camaraderie, yeah.
So as I mentioned, they are reviewing if this pancake from Martinez was successful or not. Here's a good look. I think it was.
Ooh, I'm liking that.
That's a heck of a play.
Yes. effort right away. Martinez popped up, shook her finger like, "Coach, I got that ball."
Arkansas State with a 19-15 lead. Currently a kill for Darnell, but a reversal would simply lead to a reserve here. Keely, I don't know about you. I'm here for some dance battles in Foley. We've seen some good dance battles over the years.
Yeah, that's what the bench are usually moving and dancing, and you encourage that. But whatever it takes to get your team on board. Arkansas State saying, "Hey, it's working. We're going to roll with it."
Looks like a decision has been reached. We'll hear momentarily.
There you go, dance it out.
Keely, I will say this. I love replay technology, but there is a point where you just have to move on and make a call.
You know, I think eventually it will move on. I think we'll move on to what we see in football. There's going to be a referee that can watch it, analyze it, watch it quickly, and then relay it on. But right now, the down official's got to do it all.
So the play will stand. I would have to imagine there was not enough clear, conclusive evidence that Martinez got her hand on it.
You know, it's all about the angles. So whatever angle she was able to see, you got to make the call that you believe is right at the given time.
So 4-point lead for the Red Wolves. Georgia State back to serve. Playing without Mitchell at this point, a break like that could be huge for momentum. Whitlock looks to change the momentum, can't. Here's Wyatt, big swing, she'll tool the block. Here come the Panthers.
Let's go, Wyatt. You know your team needs you right now. You are the offense of that transition kill. All you needed was a point to cut momentum on the side. Transition.
Madigan looks for Harris, and she'll pick up her 5th kill. Harris having a nice day off the bench.
Out of it, side out, that's the same rotation we saw. That right side, she's going through that seam, off the line. Nice shot.
Great serve, Whitlock has the ace.
I would go right for that same serve again. Drop it short. You see that Georgia State sitting deep on that serve-receive line. Shoulders are popping high. Go ahead and take some pace off. Let it drop short in front of any defender.
Whitlock continuing her strong play today. 11 kills, 13 digs. Another double-double for the freshman. 13 now on the season. Keely, you're Georgia State. You watched Mitchell go out with injury. You trail by 5 here. How do you respond coming out of this timeout?
You have a freshman, Burt, in the middle. She's got to step up in that major role, saying, I can do it, I can get us points. And then while you got Wyatt in your front row, you say, you got to perform for us. And then when you rotate to the back row, this is on you. But it's that leadership of the players that know that you can produce points with. Those players have to step up, because defensively, I think Georgia State's hanging in there. You saw that one ace, but that's like an anomaly in this set, because Georgia State's been passing much better. But offense is what you have to find, because the Red Wolves, if you put anything slightly off, their transition killing.
5-point Red Wolves advantage here coming out of the timeout. Georgia State out of timeouts now the rest of the way in this 3rd set. Red Wolves coming out strong, winning the 1st set. Georgia State battling back in the 2nd behind the strong play of Wyatt and Mitchell. But in the 3rd set, it's been a different story so far for Arkansas State. This is Whitlock serving. Out for Wyatt. And she has the kill coming out of the timeout. That's exactly what you wanted.
Exactly. So you go, Wyatt, I can be that leader. I'm a senior, 5'11", outside, taking it on her shoulders. You've seen her. That's 2 teammates she gave a high five to. Another one at the net saying, we can do this, guys. Stay together.
Keely clearly proving your worth. That's why they hired you, right?
I don't know why. They're like, hey, you sort of know volleyball, so let's do this. I'm joking.
Here's Madigan. Harris, big rip, kept up by Ferrari. Wyatt will roll it over. Nice play by Martinez. And now Harris will misfire. Man, Martinez is all over the court.
Doing a great job picking up balls, trying to get that transition play for Georgia State. This is your offensive pattern you like. You have Burt in the middle, Wyatt on the outside. You try to push points right now.
Critical point in this third set. Albertini to serve. Here's Harris, kept up. Wyatt, big swing, responds, the senior leader, stepping up when her team needed her.
Gosh, you only think if Mitchell had a healthy ankle right now, where Georgia State would be. This is insane, coming out of a timeout. Power, leadership. I am loving your play, Miss Erin Wyatt.
The intangibles so far for Wyatt off the charts in this match. Georgia State on a 3-0 run to get back within 2. Blocked! Burt and Wyatt, and Georgia State back within 1.
Those are the 2 players we talked about in the timeout. Who needs to step up? It is Burt and Wyatt putting the team on their shoulders, saying, guys, let's do this.
Gilly, you ever thought about getting into coaching? Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. I hated recruiting. Too many weekends on the road.
Too much travel here. Georgia State on a 4-0 run. Here's Dinser, ends it. That's huge if you're the Red Wolves.
Off-speed shots by the outside hitters. You don't have to go power. Just take a little pace off, go high into the hands. You're getting those little ricochet tools dropping.
2-point Red Wolves lead here late in the third set. Off the net, kept up by Burt. Back set, nice job by Ferrari. And Burt will win it in the middle. Georgia State showing a lot of fight.
What a comeback. They were holding their breath to get Wyatt in the front row. Burt's been holding her own on the offense, and then at the extra effort, pure want to by that freshman middle. Get it.
What do you need to see Harris do for a better outcome right there?
You know, just that extra penetration. If you're slightly off the net and the ball comes blocked in front of you, that you're going to eat it every time.
Madigan turns to Dinser, and she takes Arkansas State within 2.
Almost deja vu what we saw in the previous play. That one was just a little more pace on the hit. If the blocker's hands are off the net, you don't have to hit hard into them, just hit them, and it's going to come right down the front of the blocker.
Dinser working on another double-double here today. Here's Maloney. We'll go to Wyatt. And she comes up with the kill into the cross court.
Oh, the only bad news for Georgia State right now is she'd go into the back row because those front row swings, 4 kills, going strong in this set when the team needs her. Out of a timeout, inside hard power cut shot.
Wyatt just her 6th match with 10 or more kills on the season. And now has an ace. Georgia State tying it at 23. And now Brian Gerwig has to burn a timeout. What a run here by the Panthers.
I know you don't give like player of the match yet, but player of the set right now for Georgia State is Erin Wyatt. Coming out of that previous timeout after a 6-0 run by Arkansas State, putting her team on her back. I'm seeing a leader walking in front of our face today.
Georgia State desperately searching for that leader after their standout, Aaliyah Mitchell, who you see in the middle of your screen, went out with an ankle injury. She looks unlikely to return at this point. This is a Georgia State team, Keely. There has been multiple times over the last month that this team could have rolled over, packed it in, moved on to 2024, but a young team continuing to fight, and that has to be a good sign if you're Terry Hutchinson.
You've got to be happy with what your future, because it's only your 2nd season. I remember when I was at San Diego State going through a rebuild. It took us 4 years, and we won a first ever conference championship. but it's the initial buy-in of the current players that you've inherited while you're recruiting other players, but it's really developing that hard fighting culture and staying together. No other leader leading your way, better leader than Aaron Wyatt doing it.
Wyatt will serve coming out of the timeout. Get a look there at Sean Hewitt in the middle of your screen. His Bobcats sitting primed and ready. They hold the 1 seed out of the West. They'll play for the first time on Friday. Billings, good swing. A chance for Georgia State to take the lead. Not that time. Rolled over. For Burt, kept up by Martinez. She's been great. And now Georgia State has the lead. Set point for the Panthers.
What an incredible team comeback right now. Good transition play, going to Burt in the middle. Starting off with some solid serves by senior Wyatt. I'm just impressed with how well Georgia State came out of the previous timeout and pushed so many points to put them now at set point.
Arkansas State is challenging the last play. Georgia State with a 1-point lead for the moment. Unsure exactly of what Brian Gerwig wants them to look at. Keely, I have to imagine it might have been a net fault at some point during that play.
You know, a lot of times a coach will also use the challenge call based on just giving your team a break. It's a longer delay. Sometimes watching a whole play as a referee, as you noted, it takes a longer period of time than just a simple timeout. But I think they're looking at a net violation coming up on this ball, and I think Coach Gerwig's going to win this point.
Man, great camera work there from our crew in the back. Looked like Burt's left hand hitting the net. So that's a huge challenge in this match because suddenly now Arkansas State has set point.
Yeah, a huge turn of events right there. Coach Gerwig recognized right away the ball cleared the net. There was net motion, so it had to be caused by a blocker.
Now Arkansas State, the call has been reversed. A successful challenge by Brian Gerwig. And now Arkansas State has set point and some more adversity for Georgia State to try to overcome.
Big one right there because you have Wyatt in your back row, one left, one rotation remaining with Burt as a middle attacker. Can you find offense right now is the name of the game for Georgia State.
Elida Dinser back to serve for the Red Wolves, trying to take a 2-1 advantage here in Foley. They go to Burt, tied at 24. You've got to win by 2.
That's the offense right here. Bad news for Georgia State. She's going to the back row, but good news, that's a good side out for Arkansas State. You've had the endurance. You pushed, your last 6-0 run was in this rotation. Can you do it again?
Billings, chased down by Palmer. Now the free ball. Got to take advantage if you're the Red Wolves. And they do! Billings bounces one on the 10-foot line.
All the yeses right there. Coach Gerwig said it took one swing by Yaz Billings in her recruiting video for me to offer her a scholarship. I saw potential, high jumping off of 1 foot. Big point coming up for her team.
Keely, I see it right there.
Oh, I would sign her.
Martinez, an ace in Arkansas State, will take set number 3. The Red Wolves had to battle, but they're walking away with a 2-1 lead in Foley, looking to punch their ticket to round number 2. 2-1 advantage for Arkansas State as we head to what could be a decisive 4th set in Foley. Keely, we take a look at the stats. Arkansas State responding nicely despite some adversity in that 3rd set.
What we're seeing right now, Noah, is that every point is being earned right now. Nothing is giving. Both teams going back and forth, trying to find offense. You're seeing a lot of offense between Wyatt and Burt for Georgia State. For Arkansas State, that slide attack, getting the right side going has really been productive for them.
8 aces for this Arkansas State team, a team not known for their aces, and no better way to end the set than an ace by Martinez.
Martinez, that ball coming nice and flat, high. It's like, do I play with my hand or platform? Arkansas State so happy to get out of that set. I'm expecting a much stronger start to this set.
Arkansas State coming in averaging just 1.4 aces per set during the regular season. That's good for 11th in the conference. Today, though, performing at a much higher clip. Keely, you have to imagine it's been the service game for Arkansas State that has them in this position.
And it's certain rotations. You're seeing strong servers. You're looking at one of them with Martinez, very confident in what she can do defensively and on the service line. Rotationally, really pushing points with certain servers, causing that chaos for Georgia State to get stuck in rotations.
Arkansas State, as they say, they've done a little bit better job of risking it to get the biscuit, Keely.
You gotta risk it to get the biscuit.
This time of year, you have to throw everything out and see what sticks.
And in Foley, Alabama, I bet you can find some good biscuits too.
Well, in Foley, if we're talking about throwed rolls, you go to Lambert's. Here's Darnell into the block. Dinser rejects it. Keely, if you've never been to Lambert's, and for those watching, if you haven't, you have to go. They throw rolls across the dining hall, and you just catch them.
You know what's funny? And this is like a typical celiac allergic to gluten. I'd be ducking, bringing an umbrella. Like, I don't want that thing close to me, but I love, if I could do it, man, I'd nonstop eat biscuits.
Wyatt into the net. Alongside the former All-American Keely Evelyn, I'm Noah Frary. Thanks for sticking around. Arkansas State taking sets 1 and 3, a chance to punch their ticket to round number 2 with a win here. The winner would face the 3 seed out of the East, Georgia Southern. Albertini dumps it over. Here comes the free ball. Can you take advantage? They can't. Dinser, wind up, big swing, kept alive. Here's Wyatt attacking out of the middle. Right back to Dinser, tools it off the block.
One thing about this set, Dinser is looking confident. Those are big swings coming out of the gate. She's liking going into the hands, a little redirect is coming up with the kill.
Dinser largely a complimentary piece during the regular season, having a strong showing here today in Foley. Here's Albertini. Good defense from the Red Wolves. Kowakowski kept it alive. Ferrari swing out of the back row. And Harris ends the lengthy rally.
For Arkansas State, if you can find offense, pin to pin, antenna to antenna, that's going to make it really hard to get a block set up. Nicely done and executed, setter Madigan.
If you're just joining us, Georgia State, after taking the second set, they were leading in the third when their leading kill artist, Aaliyah Mitchell, had to exit with an ankle injury. She has not returned. And a back row attack there on Ferrari.
I'm loving the effort from Ferrari. I know she's missing her freshman outside hitter to set 2, Mitchell.
I think we need to find out who stocks the Georgia State bench with snacks. We need them to deliver some here.
I know. Be like, hey, can we pass those? That looks good.
Keely, if you're Georgia State, you wanted that third set. You lose it. Now you're trailing 5-0 here. Coming out of this timeout, how do you change the momentum?
That was a tough loss. You were in that third set. So emotionally, you, as a player, you can't let that get to you. You still have to remember, this is a win or go home situation. So if we don't win this, tomorrow we're done playing volleyball for a while until we hit spring season. So we got to lay everything out there and just hope for the best.
This time of year, so critical. Keely, I love it. I hate it. You see teams that get to advance, there's the jubilation, and then you see teams whose season comes to an end, and oftentimes there's some heartbreak involved.
And one thing, when you hit spring training, you remember only your last match. It's really funny how you forget moments throughout the season when the season seems so long, but you remember what you did in your last match. So I'm sure all these players are going to reflect on this match, and whoever wins this will go on in moments like this to only drive you to train harder in practice.
How do you get a side out here if you're Georgia State?
First, your pass, and I would go nice and low to your outside.
This is Whitlock to serve. Pushed over by Wyatt. Here's Dinser. Nice play by Kołakowski. Darnell tried to go off hands, couldn't find any. To the middle, Hollingshed, and Georgia State able to cover the middle for the first time today. Darnell has another go at it. Too much rolling right now for the Panthers. Ferrari underneath it. Darnell, heavy swing into the block. Both teams trying to search for an answer to end this rally. Dinser can't provide one. Now the miscue at the net, and Arkansas State leads by 6.
I think that was the longest rally of the match we've had, going back and forth. Whatever Coach Hutchinson is saying in a timeout, it's lighting some fire behind his defensive team. Right there, Dinser coming up with the final kill, pushing her team ahead.
The winner of this match will face the 3 seed out of the East, Georgia Southern. That game tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central. And a net call against Arkansas State gives Georgia State their first point. Now, how do you build on it if you're the Panthers?
The good news is you have Wyatt still in your front row. Burt's coming to your front row as well, so those are strong rotations. Remember, the end of that set previously, Arkansas State pushed points when Burt and Wyatt were in the back row.
Tight to the net for Madigan. Harris, heavy swing into the block. Harris will have another go, and Madigan underneath it. Third time for Harris. Now Bird will roll it over. Hollingshed, big swing. Here's Harris, tip shot this time. Wyatt, rejected.
Huge block with this setup, and then extra penetration, hang time by Hollingshed with pure want to. Getting that read, watch her get that set up, extra penetration, hold. Want to right there, you're seeing with her middle.
7th block of the match for Hollingshed, and she gets a well-deserved breather. 11 in total for the Red Wolves. Ferrari, nice set for Bird, and a better play to keep it alive. Harris out of system, couldn't terminate, and Georgia State able to pick up the point.
Let's just take a moment and reflect of the one-hand set save by setter Ferrari, number 23, that was just drifted on your screen. One-handed set, and she's listed as a DS. That's a trained pop of a field type of ball. Nicely done, Ferrari.
That makes the little setter's heart in you pleased, right?
Yes, it was a clean pop and a beautiful technique with one hand.
Here's Harris. And she'll have the kill. Kołakowski couldn't keep it alive.
Harris is finding kills with that line shot. You saw, remember the power swings? She took this one a little more off the hands, trying to go deeper on that shot. Good way to keep her inside the antenna is her setter Madigan to make it a hittable ball on that pass.
Maloney patiently waiting to serve. Her team leading by 6 in the 4th set. That serve, too strong. That extended weight may be playing with Mia Maloney.
All you need is a little hope right now for Georgia State. These are rotations, even with Wyatt in the back row, number 6 on your screen. These are rotations. Georgia State's been coming up points. So you got to push on it, even your star attackers in your back row.
Almost had a point there with the ace. They run it for Bird, too strong.
And you see, Noah, the offense. So in the front row, Wyatt's getting the majority of balls. When Wyatt's in the back row, you're finding number 14, Burt, in your middle. Arkansas State's figuring this out. So they're trying to camp around the block with the defense, trying to get up 4 hands in front of Burt.
Then you dare a player like Jackson on the outside to beat you, and she hasn't been able to.
Exactly. That's the chess game of volleyball.
Rolled over by Broom, and a kill from the outside.
I love players that know how to work the hands. I think that's a tool that as you grow in volleyball, it's more used at the high level because you'll have huge blocks in front of you. If you go around the block, defenders sit there. So let me go ahead and learn how to work the hands and get kills easily on my own.
Georgia State hanging around. They trail by 5 with Kołakowski to serve. Whitlock. Nice play by Kołakowski. It'll be a free ball. You have to take advantage of these. Madigan attacks on 2. A nifty play there from the freshman.
She was like, oh, Keely, you were talking about Ferrari's one-hand set. Let me show you this one-hand tip. Send over I got with the right hand emergency play on that tip send. Nobody there on the court.
Keely, do you have that tool in your tool chest back in the day?
Right hand, left hand, you had it all. How fun. And watching tournament time, it just makes me want to suit up. And then my back would hate me later.
Madigan out to Whitlock. And she's rejected. Georgia State back within 5. Keely, I don't know. I think you could still suit up.
You know what? I could last about 3 hours, and then it would take me about 3 weeks of recovery, so it's just not worth it anymore, Noah.
So you're telling me if Georgia Tech needed you in a pinch, you could step in for at least a match?
I mean, I would need a lot of Botox at this age to pass for an 18 to 20-year-old kid.
Hollingshed sends that one across. Here's Darnell. Good play from Ferrari. Down ball, Darnell can't take advantage. Dinser got underneath it, that one off the ceiling. So Georgia State back within 4.
Beautiful left-handed hit by Darnell on that left side, right side.
Bella Ferrari back to serve. Hollingshed roofed. Albertini right in the middle of it.
You know, that's one thing. If you feel like offensively you can't do it, that's how you step in and show that you can do it on the block. Jackson with the beautiful setup and middle with the block. Put it down, Albertini.
Georgia State trying to climb back in at Arkansas State, trying to win it when we come back. Bella Ferrari still serving for Georgia State out of the timeout. These Panthers have been pesky. Ferrari getting a good laugh out of the delay. Here's Hollingshed, off hands for the kill. That's how you respond out of a timeout.
Exactly, and that's what we saw in the first set. It's not a slide, but the middle shifts over and then goes off 2 feet inside the antenna behind the setter. It works to create separation.
Is that a called play?
Called play, yes. Out of a timeout, if you have a hitter that's more comfortable getting the spread off 2 feet, you can run that play.
This is Jackson, splits the block.
Coach Hutchinson reminding his team, guys, you have power, you have heat. We just need to go and trust what you can do. Go down swinging. You have nothing to lose. I'm loving Coach Hutchinson really out of a timeout, just lighting a fire. Whatever you want to, whatever you're saying, I want to be a fly on the wall.
Madigan turns it over for Harris. Dinser keeping it alive. Martinez can't continue the rally. Georgia State within 2.
The timeout talks by Hutchinson, like doing it, because every time Georgia State's been creating a run right out of a timeout.
Another good serve from Saylor. Out for Whitlock. Georgia State out of system. Wyatt pushes it over. Madigan, Whitlock. And a kill for the Red Wolves. 13th of the match for Whitlock.
Setter Madigan got a second opportunity. Instead of going high, she went low and flat outside to Whitlock to create the seam to hit between.
Another strong showing for the young freshman, Caitlin Whitlock. She was named Sun Belt Conference Offensive Player of the Week in the final week of the regular season. Ferrari out for Wyatt. Nice play to find the opening.
That's a strong snap top spin to create that type of spin on your ball to keep it inside the court. Even though it was slightly behind her, she was able to snap her wrist on the contact. Watch the contact. Coming up, hand shot, hard top spin, getting it to drop.
Just over the block attempt of Harris. Dinser off the block, and huge because that was the rotation for Georgia State that they've had success offensively.
100% right, Noah. Out of this rotation, Dinser's been the go-to player, getting instant side out. Nicely done, stepping up big time for her team in the fourth set.
Dinser 12 kills, 10 digs now in the match. Here's Darnell into the block and down. Dinser teaming up with Yaz Billings.
Doing on all ends, fourth set, block set up. Billings with the close. Watch the eye motion, getting down on her hitter, dropping her head down, saying, I got you on the setup. Let me go ahead and penetrate this one down.
Ferrari looks for Burt, awkward swing. Dinser again, roll shot, Kołakowski underneath it. Back for Wyatt. Down ball set, Whitlock out of the back row, rolled it over. Wyatt, huge swing, Madigan underneath it. Now they'll call the double contact.
Good push right there by Georgia State. Just staying in rallies is the key. These are good rotations for you, so can you create the service run? I think Palmer can make a good service run right now.
Palmer, a service ace in 10 of 16 matches in the regular season. Almost had one there. Here's Burt, big swing. Harris sends it over. Palmer looks for Wyatt. Martinez was there. Now Dinser. Good job by Wyatt. Broom kept up. Both teams scrambling. Burt! And that one tipped over. We have seen some long rallies in this match.
Yeah, we have.
This one might be the longest. Here's Harris. Kept up. Who will end it?
What?
Great platform. Dinser can't. Into the block for Broom.
That's a wave of emotion right now. Long rally, you might get a challenge call on this. Long rally though, incredible job just to stay in it and fight for each team.
So Brian Gerwig looks like he will challenge. There was a point early on in that rally where, Keely, I think we both thought the ball was down. I think that's what he's challenging here.
And he had the closer view on the sideline right there, coming in, looking at that angle.
So under challenge in Foley. Current call, a point for Georgia State. They are indeed reviewing that contact by the player, I believe, earlier on in that rally. We saw Brian Gerwig have some success with a challenge, a critical challenge at the end of that third set. A reversal here would give Arkansas State a 3-point lead. We're trying to find you a look of this play. That was a long rally, Keely.
Incredible digs we witnessed. So we had Erin Madigan go into the corner. That corner dig saved it for her team, and then following up Martinez with the hard shot, receiving that attack. It was incredible.
Having to scrub all the way back through that lengthy rally. Here's the best look we could find. I think that one hit the playing surface.
I saw a little court and then half her hand and court, but if any part of the ball hits the court, it's considered a down ball.
The Arkansas State bench again laying in that circle. Keely, I think we're going to have to ask about that after the match. What's the play here?
I'm like, do some back bends or something. Keep your body warm. The player in me just goes, we can't we got to focus on the game, guys. But that's now what's happening in college volleyball. You'll see a lot more benches playing games. Social media like blew it up.
Well, Keely, to your point, it's been so long since you played. You guys didn't have replay back in the day.
We did not. You're right. We did not. We playing with surveillance, I call it nowadays. We lied like crazy. You get the touch. You had to be the best actress. Turn around. You're like, yeah, guys, we got that. And then to your teammates, you're like, guys, I touched that totally.
Certainly nothing being missed these days in college volleyball. What was your go-to sell there, Keely?
Oh, I was an actress galore. But then I would always tell my teammates with such a poker face, and then they would laugh and then get them going. Oh my gosh, we had so much fun out there.
Would you act shocked or get frustrated when the call was reversed?
Well, it was never reversed.
That's
so
true.
It was
That's
like
fair.
It's called. So if they missed the touch call, you can't like replay it in your own brain. The other like coach is going crazy. To your teammates, you're making jokes, but you're just competing.
I forgot you played in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I'm old. That's why I would need a lot of Botox to play if they sell for like a 22-year-old kid out there. But when you play, so in Spain when I played professionally, the rule was if you're asked, you have to be honest in practice. But if you're not asked, you do not give it up because you're competing. So now into practice, when I was a college coach, you teach your players that like if you're asked, be honest. But if you don't ask, I'm not telling.
A reversal, so another successful challenge by Brian Gerwig. They did say that ball was down on that Kowakowski dig attempt. So a 4-point lead for the Red Wolves here. Keely, that could be a big difference maker here late in the fourth set.
You're right, that was a big swing event because that finish block by Georgia State, to get that point, you felt momentum was shifting, and Coach Gerwig was like, I got a green card, using this challenge to get his point back.
Palmer finds Burt. That one found the line.
This is the wave you're riding. You got Burt in your middle. You're going outside to Wyatt on that rotation. You have to look at it. Guys, this is now or never. If we don't win this match, we do not play volleyball tomorrow. We love this game. Keep fighting.
Out of system for the Red Wolves. Here's Dinser has the kill. 14 now for Elida Dinser.
Dinser's definitely the best player stepping up in the fourth set for Arkansas State. Just putting on a performance. On the block, you saw the penetration along the net, and then just coming up with major kills.
What a showing today for Dinser. She's been a catalyst. Tight to the net. Bird will push it over. Rolled over by Billings. Palmer looks for Burt, stopped by Billings. 13th block of the match for the Red Wolves.
I love the story on Billings. Only played 6 months of volleyball before Coach Gerwig saw her on video to offer her a scholarship. Has so much potential, and we're seeing that evolve in front of our eyes right now.
Keely, this Arkansas State block has been a pleasant surprise. They were one of the worst blocking teams in the conference this year.
And it helps that the offense for Georgia State's predictable where you're scoring points. So you can set up on Burt, you can set up on Wyatt, and then force players like right side Broom to try to find kills. This one, Broom's coming up with the off the hands kill.
Arkansas State, a lot of good chess moves, but Georgia State, a gritty performance so far, trying to get right back in this one. Good serve from Kowakowski. Madigan tried that move from a few plays ago. This time it doesn't work, and that one lands at the 10-foot line.
One thing Jackson's doing a great job, the left front for Georgia State right now, is showing up on the blocking game. That was like, okay, you got me once, you're not getting me twice. That stopped the play, kept the rally going for a team.
Good pass from Maloney. Here's Billings on the slide, denied. Now Whitlock. An opening for the Panthers. Billings into the net. Play continued, but 4 contacts called on the Red Wolves, and suddenly Georgia State is back within 2.
That's the right idea. Billings hit the ball, when the ball was below the top of the tape. The top of the tape is a wire or a cord. That's always going to beat a ball. You got to hit a palm contact before that ball drops below the white tape.
Madigan looking outside. Whitlock coming through with a huge kill. 15 now in the match.
That's how you cut it. Nice job, looking like you're going cross court and then turning that ball. Whitlock, beautifully done through the block.
Here's Martinez, and a critical service error. Georgia State being kept in this by a few miscues.
And you always look to see what rotation Georgia State's going in. So that's a good sign. You have Durnell on your right side. You have a defender and a setter in Ferrari. Can you find some right side production right now offensively?
This Georgia State team continuing to battle after watching one of their best kill artists, Aaliyah Mitchell, exit with an ankle injury in the third set. Scrambling, pushed over, Jackson out of play.
Arkansas State is in a side-out game. You have a nice cushion as you lead. If you don't get the point on the serve, you have to find a quick way to side out to maintain this lead as you try to win this set to win the match.
Points critical at this venture point. Here's Jackson, tools the block. Georgia State continuing to fight.
That's a note to self if you're Jackson. I don't have to go hard into the hands. The off-speed shots, high into the blocker's hands. Every attacker is getting kills. If they just take a little pace off their swing, go high into the hands, it's coming down with the block.
That's something it can take a freshman a little bit of time to learn.
Yeah, it's a finesse shot and not being intimidated by a block to be like, oh, I can learn how to work you.
That one went over, pushed back, and a point. Abby Harris on the out-of-system ball.
Harris was just with the heads-up play at the net. That was a scramble play. Yeah, I thought Georgia State was going to get the point. Harris said, okay, I see where you're taking that ball. Let me go ahead and stop the angle.
Maybe Wyatt a little too aggressive right there.
Yeah, Wyatt tried to go flat. She should have taken the ball a little deeper because the defense was sucked in the court.
And an ace. 4-point Red Wolves advantage. It's Whitlock. And a timeout by Terry Hutchinson. Things starting to slip away. The Red Wolves lead by 4. We'll take a break. Can they hang on when we come back? Back in Foley. Crunch time here in the fourth set. The Red Wolves trying to set up a date with Georgia Southern. Georgia State trying to spoil the party and force a fifth set. What a day for Caitlin Whitlock so far. 14 kills, 18 digs. She's been a huge catalyst. Here's Wyatt out of the timeout, responds.
I tell you what, impressive out of a timeout, Georgia State. They played a new team. Putting her team on her back once again is Erin Wyatt, coming up with a major point, trying to stay in this set to stay in the match.
Wyatt had a season-high 17 kills in the regular season finale versus ULM. She's one off of that today, 16 kills, hitting close to 300. That's a good day, Keely.
Fantastic day. I love the leadership behind all those strong kills.
Madigan, here's Dinser into the block. Georgia State not done yet.
I don't know what Coach Hutchinson says in a timeout. Can we just get a little memo in there, voice memo?
I think I need his motivational speaking on a Monday morning.
I do. With my coffee, we can just get a podcast. Coach, can you do a podcast for us?
There's a podcast for everything. Serve out. That's critical.
Yeah, that was a big point right there. You had momentum. I know nobody wants to miss a serve. I've missed so many. It's insane. But just coming at a big point, that's one you want back if you're Georgia State.
The lead is 3 for the Red Wolves. Trying to get out of the first round for the second consecutive year. Ferrari will chase. Here's Wyatt. Dinser rolls it over, out of play. And Georgia State continuing to hang around. If you're Georgia State, how do you get over the hump?
I mean, when you got an attacker on the outside swinging like that, you keep going. I thought G. Weiler picked up the dig to save the point, but it's just not enough with the power you're seeing from Wyatt taking big swings.
Feels like an important time with Wyatt still in that front row. It's probably now or never if you're Georgia State. This is Palmer. Madigan looks for Harris. Nice play by Palmer. Now Wyatt, kept up. He'll turn to Broom, and Madigan got underneath it. Dinser, roll shot, kept alive. Nice tip over by Burt. Here's Dinser, went searching for hands, couldn't find any, and Georgia State within one.
You called it Palmer with the dig. That was the one that saved the rally for Georgia State to keep it going, and then you had a nice cover ball in the mix. Incredible team effort and comeback by Georgia State.
A challenge now for Arkansas State. They are looking whether or not there was a tip. The original call was deemed out on that swing by Dinser.
Yeah, live it actually looked like it was a touch, but so that was this is an important video to watch to see if we're going to get that right challenge.
But Keely, you know as well as I do, these net challenges and the touches on the hands, sometimes, for lack of a better word, it can be a crapshoot a little bit on if they can overturn that. That's why the call on the court is so important, and it currently is out.
Correct, and it's video evidence. Is there enough to overturn it? Because it's hard to see. Sometimes it barely hits the finger, and then you can't really see that. That's why it's so important to train power hands position to avoid any type of motion, even on that.
How do you train your hand position, Keely?
I do a lot of, with my players or even when I coach, a lot of medicine ball work. You toss a ball, you train the hands to be ready for impact.
I didn't see enough there.
That angle was so close, the blocker's fingers were over the view of that.
Big play in this match. Georgia State currently back within one. A reminder, you do have to win by 2 in a set. Next matchup, ULM versus App State, originally scheduled for 5 p.m. Central. We're about to cross 5 p.m. Central. That one's going to get started a bit later, Keely.
I'm sure those players are off warming up, waiting to see the outcome of this one as they're gearing up for their match.
Keely, you and I talked before this tournament. We expected to see some intrigue, some back and forth, particularly in these first couple of rounds. Today has been that and more.
Yeah, nothing short of long rallies and pure want to. There you go. See, I enjoy dancing because that's keeping your body warm during a little break.
I don't. I have no dance moves.
Are you sure?
My fiance tells me I don't have any dance moves, so.
Oh, by the end of this tournament, I think you're going to be so delirious. I'll see you dancing over here.
After 13 matches, I might be.
Yeah, you will.
This one taking a bit of time. Again, the call on the court is out. That's what they have to find enough clear and conclusive video evidence to change this call. And Keely, from the angles we've seen, I don't know if they're going to have enough.
Yeah, I'm not sure from the angles we've seen if you can override it. Yes.
Everyone enjoying DJ Buddy James inside the venue. Creating a party atmosphere in Foley. A-State getting involved in the action.
There you go, keep your body warm. That's what I like thinking as a former player, former college coach. Totally get movement going, dance it out on the sideline.
There's the App State players. They're waiting to play next, getting involved in the action. Keely, what has you excited about watching that App State team next?
I think you have a lot of offense that you can work with, but with App State, it's all about sticking that first pass. If you can get that going, you got a lot of options.
alongside the former All-American setter at Georgia Tech, Keely Evelyn. I'm Noah Frary. Keely, they popped the bio up there. That's a pretty impressive bio, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, pretty crazy when you think about, I went to Georgia Tech because I saw I could start, and then I saw it was a good education, and then had one of those fairy tale careers.
Call reversed. Terry Hutchinson can't believe it. So a reversal will make it 23-20 in favor of Arkansas State, and Terry Hutchinson hot under the collar.
You know what I've seen in college volleyball? Like a double challenge. Like one coach called a touch, the other one called a net, same play, got reversed, double reverse. It was awesome.
The challenge has definitely involved a new part into the game of volleyball. This is Maloney to serve, and she has an ace to take us to match point.
Nicely done, the service game for Arkansas State's been clicking today. Nice line driving serves.
10 service aces. Arkansas State outperforming most of their season averages on the day. Nearly had another. Palmer had a chase. Wyatt tried to keep it alive, and not for long. Arkansas State, they're going to round 2.
That will do it. Pure team effort. I love the battle from Georgia State, but it was the finish by Arkansas State, staying together, doing it at the end, but pulled off the win.
Arkansas State winning today, 25-20 here in the 4th set. They take it in 4 sets over Georgia State. Time to name our Hercules Tires strong move of the game. It's that final point. Burt tried to punch it over and couldn't take advantage. The Red Wolves hanging on in Foley, setting up a date with Georgia Southern in round number 2. A big-time performance today from Brian Gerwig's side. Our big-time performer in this match for Arkansas State, Elida Dinser, a huge showing. She was a catalyst. She's our Jersey Mike's player of the match.
7 of those kills came in the 4th set, showed up on the outside attack, and then did it on the block. Dinser representing the power and the fight for this Arkansas State squad.
Arkansas State advancing in Foley. They get out of the first round for the 2nd year in a row. They will face the 3rd seed Georgia Southern in round number 2. Georgia State, their season coming to an end here in Foley. Let's take a look at some final stats from this match. A tight one here, neither team hitting with a particularly high hitting percentage, but at the end of the day, Arkansas State got it done, Keely.
29 of those kills from Arkansas State came from the outside attackers, Whitlock and Dinser. For Georgia State, they were just trying to find offense apart from Wyatt and Burt in the middle once Mitchell went down. Good all-out performances. I'm excited where the future of these programs will go.
Arkansas State advancing once again in Foley. So far, producer Tim Fanguy, Keely Evelyn, and the rest of our crew, I'm Noah Frary saying so long for Foley. Where once again our final score, Arkansas State 3, Georgia State 1. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of Sunbelt Volleyball on ESPN.